All right, guys, it's time for the Final Four. And hey, maybe March Madness hasn't been as magical this year because all 4 number ones have made the Final Four. But as you know, for every big sporting event, your boy hooks up with the DraftKings Sportsbook to give all new customers a fantastic offer. So all new customers, bet only $5 or more when signing up. Use my promo code DCTV. We'll give you $150 in bonus bets instantly. Look, if you were chalk all tournament, then you were winning. But right now, with 4 number ones, you got to get creative. So why not get creative at the DraftKings Sportsbook? Once again, sign up using my promo code DCTV. Bet only $5 or more, and every new customer gets $150 in bonus bets instantly. Guys, go to the DraftKings Sportsbook right now for all your Final Four needs, and go to the DraftKings Sportsbook to get your crown, because we always say that crown is yours. Daniel Cormier! Another episode of Funky and the Champ. I'm fat. Jamal's like skinny fat. Right? You're skinny fat.
Take it back.
Today I chose violence.
I'm suing. Sue them. I had the mute on for the fight. Sorry, Daniel. I did mute you.
You guys are going to be lifetime enemies because of the shit you say the moment you get a microphone in your face. Bro, you're crazy. What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Funky and the Champ. I'm Daniel Cormier. That has been Askren. Ben, I'm a little late, dog.
Right.
I'm late. Ben,
Yep.
Bro.
What?
Mexico City got the best of me, dude.
Oh, you and Joe Pfeiffer.
Bro, it's bad, bro. They told me that because it was such a high-end restaurant, they said every water source in the hotel filtered. Everything was filtered. So don't worry about the ice. Just drink it. Just eat it. Ben, I've been to the bathroom 40 times since we've been back, bro. I'm like at a point where I'm scared. I'm having to take antibiotics, dude. I don't want to die. You could die from this stuff, man. What is this?
Oh, man.
Has that happened to you in a foreign country where it just messes with your stomach?
I have an iron stomach. I barely ever puke or get anything. My wife is so annoyed because all our kids, you have little kids, they get sick and they're gross, and I never, ever, ever catch it.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I think one time in the past, maybe 15 or 20 years, and I think we pickled some jalapenos ourselves, and I think maybe we didn't do it right, and I puked and vomited for about 8 hours straight, and then
What?
And then I was good. I was on an FRL, and I said, "Hey guys, I gotta go." Like live on the show, I'm like, I can't be here anymore, and I literally puked like 90 seconds later. Like I walked out of the room, right to the bathroom.
Isn't that the worst feeling in the world, though? Like throwing up.
Awful.
Like throwing up and stuff is the worst. It's like the worst, bro. I don't know.
Yes.
Like, I'm struggling so bad right now, bro. I've just been laying in my bed for days. I'm just like, God, please go away. Like,
Oh man.
Mexico City, I cannot stand you. You hear Joe Piper's all, I don't care if people can take offense to it. I'm never going back to that place. Like,
It's funny. Yeah, you should do the Joe Rogan clause and just not go certain places on your. Are you as big as Joe Rogan yet?
No, absolutely
Not quite. Almost.
Man. All right, so we probably get sore instead of me throwing up and everything else. Show. Ben, so much has happened recently.
Yes.
Ilia Topuria is stating his claim that he going up to 155 full time was a little easier because he was guaranteed a damn title shot. Guaranteed a damn title shot. We also will talk about Merab and Sean O'Malley in a rematch. Does that surprise you or does that annoy you? And last thing before we go, we're going to talk on, I'll give you a couple minutes, for Funky's take and some gloating because you're right about Conor McGregor. Like in more ways than one, because Matt Brown is saying he told you this 10 years ago. Matt Brown didn't have the other element right, though, that Conor was going to be a politician, which was something you somehow saw. It drives me crazy. But first, let's start with Ilia Topuria. So Ilia Topuria said, this is his quote, Ben, before I let you go. The belt will be on the line. He said, it will be on the line. That was the promise of leaving my title vacant. They've always kept their promises. They've always kept their promises, is what Topuria said. He said that it's the only reason he went up, left the belt, because they told him it would be a guaranteed title fight. It's easy to believe that was something told to Topuria, but how much of a problem is this going to be if they can't get Makhachev to fight him?
I think Dana should just do Dana stuff and just say, "Hey, Islam, if you don't want to fight, you're stripped." He's done that. That is in Dana's repertoire. Now,
So do
Ilia
you believe
Topuria.
that Islam doesn't want to fight him?
I mean, if not, why is it not happening then?
So I just think that there's got to be a reason. There's got to be a. I saw Henry Cejudo saying something the other day, like even if Islam agrees, Khabib will come over the top and say, "Nope, not happening."
Okay, so okay, here would be my thing was why. If you're the champion, you're supposed to defend the belt against the best person, right?
Yeah.
So Ilya has beat two legends in a row, and not only beat them, but finished them at 145 pounds, Volkanovski and Holloway. Very, very clearly the best, choosing to go up. Islam has beat almost all of the field, maybe except Arman, but given what just happened with Arman, I don't think they want to give Arman the shot again.
He
So
beat
it
Arman
makes
once. Remember, he beat him that one fight
Oh,
on
you're
short
right.
notice.
Yes, I'm sorry. You're right. He did. But given, Armand was just supposed to have the title shot and he pulled out on super late notice. And so they don't want to give it, they want to make him fight someone else first. So that makes perfect sense for Ilya to pop in, given the fact that he is a champion. He is undefeated. He has defeated two legends in a row. I don't see how you deny him the title shot.
You see, so here's my thought on that. One, I get it. It would be warranted because there is no clear number one contender. I mean,
Yes.
Hanato Moicano just fought for the belt. The clear number one contender is Arman Sarukian. But if
Yes.
Arman Sarukian is not next, Charles Oliveira is another guy that has won fights now, beat Michael Chandler,
Yes.
was supposed to fight for the belt before fighting against Arman Sarukian. So he's had chances, right? Oliveira had worked his way back
Yes.
into a championship opportunity. He fought Arman, lost, and then beat Michael Chandler, put himself back in contention. So there are guys. I just don't know that there's anyone as exciting
No.
as Ilia Topuria because it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I mean,
try and go
for
ahead.
sure, for sure, Ilya is the most compelling fight there. I don't know what the pushback would be on him by
I got it for
Makhachev.
you.
Oh, tell me.
I actually have it for you,
Okay.
or at least I think I have it for you. Then you can tell me if it has any type of, if it's valid in any way. Okay, Islam Makhachev. Look at his resume right now. Read off his title fights and title defenses.
Yeah.
So he's
Let me
beat
do it.
Charles
I wasn't
Oliveira.
ready.
He beat Charles Oliveira for the belt, right? He
Yep.
then defended it against Volkanovski.
Yep.
He then defended it against Volkanovski,
Yep.
right? Then he fought Dustin Poirier. Then he fought uh, uh,
Moicano.
Moicano. In those fights, he's had four defenses, one championship win. Two of those fights were against featherweights.
Yeah,
Granted,
yes,
it was
true.
the number one pound for pound fighter in the world at the time, Volkanovski. It was so much so that when those guys fought, Ben, they said this is for number one pound for pound. You remember then Volkanovski fought him pretty competitive the first time, and then they had like a split number one pound
Yeah,
for
it
pound.
was very, very competitive the first time.
Yes, and then Islam knocked him out. And after he knocked him out, all the talk was about, well, you just knocked out a featherweight. You haven't, it doesn't lend itself to much. I believe that that's the pushback. That even if you beat Topuria, who has looked so dominant and so unbeatable,
Yes.
people are still going to say, well, you just beat a featherweight.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I mean, if he's vacating the title, he's no longer a featherweight. That does it's not like he's saying, let me hold this featherweight belt and let me come up. He is not holding the featherweight belt. He has vacated the featherweight belt. He is no longer a featherweight. That being said, he was equally as impressive against Volkanovski, and he also knocked out Holloway. Holloway just beat Justin Gaethje, who is ranked
Yeah.
what, four, three,
I
three.
honestly believe that's who's going to fight for the belt. I
Justin
believe it's going to
Gaethje?
be Gaethje. Yeah.
Gaethje lost 2 fights ago, though.
Gaethje lost. Yeah. I think it's going to be Gaethje. I think that's, if I'm Team Makhachev, I'm asking for Justin Gaethje because that's a big name fight. It's the guy
Yes.
that carries a lot of name recognition. I think that's going to be the fight, if I'm being honest with you.
Dang. I mean,
Would that
I
disappoint you?
hate it. Yeah, that is disappointing, and I hate it.
Why?
He lost to Holloway, and Topuria just put down Holloway in very impressive fashion. Like I said, I don't even think this is a hard argument. I think Topuria is
Really?
by far the most compelling person. I mean, listen, if you didn't have Topuria, if Topuria said, "Hey, I'm gonna stay at featherweight and I'm gonna fight Diego Lopez," um, then yeah, okay, cool. Let's do Justin Gaethje or let's do Charles Oliveira because you're wanting Arman Sarukian to get a win since he just pulled out last minute. That would make perfect sense. But he has vacated the title. This is not him trying to keep his featherweight title and come up. This is he vacated it. He's ready to fight at lightweight. He is a lightweight. He's undefeated, beat legends. Give him the shot.
Do you think that he should win a fight first, or his title fight win and title fight defense is enough? Because
Yeah.
hey, let's think about this. Let's think about this, Ben.
Yeah.
Let's think about this. I love, I love the way Ilia fights. I think he's phenomenal. I always have to say this as a like almost as a soft landing spot so people don't get mad at me. Because the truth is, I do like the guy, but he really only had one title defense. So we talk about the resume that he has
Yeah.
had. Granted, he beat the two greatest featherweights of all time, in my opinion.
Yep.
And actually, Jose Aldo's the third, but Jose isn't fighting at that level anymore. He's fighting at
Yeah.
135. But he's beaten two of the three best
Can I
featherweights
can
of
I
all time.
interject one thing there also?
Go ahead.
And those two featherweights, Holloway has a very, very recent win against Justin Gaethje, a lightweight, at which they competed at lightweight, right?
Yep.
And then Volkanovski had the very competitive bout with Islam Makhachev.
Yep.
So you have both of those guys also competing at lightweight and having relatively good results.
So you don't think that he needs to get a victory first? You think he
I
walks
say
right into a title
no.
fight?
I say put him in there.
Yeah. You know,
100%.
and honestly, I don't think many would have a problem with it if if he did get a championship opportunity.
No.
I just don't know how to get it together because, and that's why I asked you, how much of an issue do you think this is going to become?
Well, this is where I mean Dana, for as frustrating as this can be, having someone who is like a tyrant or a dictator at the top, able to force issues, is kind of helpful because it doesn't take a genius to realize that if Topuria is vacating and moving, he's the second best, and Makhachev is the first best. And you make them fight, right? And
Yeah.
so if number one Makhachev doesn't want to fight, you say, "Hey, dude, you got to fight." And then if he says, "No, screw off," then it's like, "Okay, well, we're gonna take your belt and we're gonna put Topuria against." Someone else, right? Charles Oliveira for the title shot, and then you can come back and try to earn it later. Like that's kind of if the number one guy is not being reasonable, you do kind of have to force their hand, and that's where boxing has so many issues because there's so many belts and there's so many guys pulling shenanigans all the time. It's like one of the great things about the UFC is that so very frequently the number one and the number two they do fight.
Yep, they do.
Yeah.
They have to. That's honestly what the business has been built on, is
Yes,
these
for
guys
sure.
fighting each other. Yeah, it's going to
Yeah.
be interesting to see how this plays out, man. But yes, I do kind of agree. I think it's going to be those two guys. Actually, you know what? No, I don't agree. I
You
think it'll
want
be
a
Justin
Gaethje.
Gaethje.
I know
No,
you like
I no,
Gaethje a
I'm not
lot.
saying I want. I'm saying
Is it because
I
like you
think.
could beat him in golf or like did he let you
No,
win to
I
make you
can't
feel
beat him in
good?
golf no more, dude. This
You
dude
can't
played
beat.
when
Oh
he lost
man.
that fight. They had 260 days left in the year. He played golf 235 days of the year.
What?
I swear to God,
Are you kidding me?
he played 235 of the 260 days left in the year.
Bro, he doesn't have kids then, huh?
He has no kids. He's just a single dude with a whole bunch of money that plays golf all the time. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. But he's so good now, bro. He took his
uh,
handicap from like 11 or 12 down to 7
oh
in like
wow.
not even a year. Uh Ben,
Oh, that's funny.
Merab Dvalishvili beat Sean O'Malley to become the bantamweight champion of the world.
Yeah,
It wasn't that competitive a fight.
not
Merab then
really.
goes on to beat essentially the boogeyman and Umar Nurmagomedov in Los Angeles.
Yep.
So then you start to wonder, who's next?
Yes.
Come to find out, it's going to be Sean O'Malley in Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center in May.
Yes.
Does that surprise you that O'Malley got a title fight or a rematch
Well,
without having
in
to
it,
fight?
yeah, initially it did surprise me a little bit, but then I went and I looked at the rankings and I don't know who else they'd put in there. Merab has beaten Sean. He's beaten Peter. He's beaten Umar. That's number one, two, and three.
Yep.
Sandhagen has a very recent loss, as does Figueiredo, and I believe those two are fighting each other. That's the top five. Like
No, Figueiredo's fighting somebody in Iowa. The fact that they're going to do a fight card in
I thought
Iowa too is a bit surprising, isn't it?
that is wild. Des Moines, Iowa, right?
Yeah, Des Moines,
Really? I
Iowa.
thought Corey Sandhagen was fighting. Okay,
No,
let me
no,
look.
no. Davison Figueiredo is fighting somebody else in Iowa. It's that Iowa fight card.
I'm
Who's he
gonna pull
fighting,
up
man?
his profile.
He's fighting.
That was in Figueredo. No, Corey Sandhagen on May
He's fighting
3rd.
Sanhagen in Iowa.
That's
Okay,
what I said.
I didn't know. I didn't know who the main event was. I did know Davison
Yeah.
was fighting.
So those two are fighting each other. That's 4-5. But both of them have a recent loss. So Figueiredo lost to Peter Yan, and Sandhagen lost to, who do you lose to? Oh, Umar, right?
Lost to Umar. Yep, in Abu
So
Dhabi.
yeah, so it's really the only thing that makes a whole lot of sense. Um, Peter Yan is in there also, but he had a more recent loss to Merab. Sorry,
Well, that
not
was
more
years
recent
ago.
than Sean. More
Yeah.
recent than the other ones. Yeah. So like,
Ben, tell me who's 7 through 10. Tell me
7
seven
through
through
10.
10.
All right, 7 through
Because
10.
here's the deal.
We got Song Yadong, Marlon Vera,
Okay.
Rob Font,
And
Henry,
Song Yadong
and
just beat Henry Cejudo, right?
yes,
And you have Marlon Vera. Not Cheeto. Nope. Who's after that?
Rob Font.
Okay, so Song Yadong could be the only one. Now, granted, this is why. Now, this is why, right? Do you remember Alex Pereira fought Khalil Roundtree? He was number 7. Do you remember
Yes.
when Pantoja fought Steve Urseg? He was number 10.
That was
Right?
that was wild. That I don't know why. I think they just needed an opponent, I guess.
Yeah. So I don't know that we're confined to the rankings.
Yeah.
Look,
Jan just beat Yadong. So Jan's actually won a couple in a row against some relatively highly ranked opponents. So maybe he's someone you could potentially throw back in
but
there.
Sean beat him. They all just beat each other.
Yes.
That's the craziest thing about 120, 35 pounds.
Yes.
Is they've all beaten each other except Merab.
Yes.
So when you look at this fight, right? The last fight was at the Sphere in September.
Yep.
Merab wins the fight, decision, takedown, takedown, takedown. The only reason it's surprising to me is for this reason. I'm not surprised that Sean O'Malley gets a title fight because I know that for all the guys in this division, he's the one that's most recognizable. He's the one that carries the most
Yes.
name recognition. He's the one that people know about more than anyone. But Aljamain said it's not as impactful as they would make you believe as a champion in terms of him and pay-per-view
Yeah.
buys and everything. But he's the most recognizable. And boy, Newark, New Jersey has had some title fights that have not been great. They've had some fights go there in May where it's almost like that May pay-per-view has been like one where it's like a reset because the April one's so good. All right? Like, because Miami's always awesome in April. Then May is
Yeah.
kind of like a reset. Then June and July is usually pretty good. The only
Yeah.
thing that's worrisome for me, if it's Sean O'Malley, what has he done? He supposedly was injured, right?
Didn't they say he was gonna be injured and he was gonna be out for like a whole year or something?
Okay. Exactly, man. That's my point. He said he was hurt. Remember, it was the rotator cuff or something that was messed up, that he was so hurt, that was part of the reason he lost, and he was going to be away for a while trying to get healthy. Not only that, he lost because he couldn't stop takedowns. What do you think he has done in the 9 months since the fight to improve that, especially if he was hurt in the beginning of the recovery where he
Yes,
couldn't
or
wrestle?
couldn't train.
If you have a bad shoulder, you are not wrestling at the level that you need to wrestle in
You're
order
not
to
wrestling.
defend
You're
Merab.
not wrestling at all if you got a really bad
Yes.
shoulder.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even that, Ben, even if
Yeah.
it's not a torn rotator cuff and it's
Yeah.
just a bad shoulder, you're not wrestling at the level
No.
you need to defend Merab.
Yeah. And honestly, for Sean, if you look at his skill set and who he is, I kind of think this is a bad move. If he gets beat up by Merab again, then he loses a whole bunch of attraction because it's like, well, you already lost to the champ twice. So until the champ goes away, they're not going to give you a third shot against him. He could have fought some maybe lower ranked guys and just looked, against guys who can't take him down. He kind of looks like a real freaking superstar, right? He's
Does.
really exciting, very diverse striking attack. So he could look really good, built the fight back up into something bigger. But now I feel like everyone is feeling like you're feeling. Hey, we just saw this. It wasn't competitive. Why do we need to see this again?
Yeah, you see, I don't mind. I don't mind seeing it again. My thing was, I thought, and granted, I'm not his coach. I'm not everybody. I thought that in order for him to really, truly, Ben, be able to fight this guy the way that he needs to, we may be out of pocket here. We may not know what he's doing, but
Yes.
my thought was, Sean O'Malley should maybe go to Ben Askren's Wrestling Academy, get some wrestling shoes, and literally just wrestle.
I
thought,
invited him
hey,
a couple of years ago. Remember that? He wouldn't
Ben,
come.
in Phoenix, go to Valiant. It's there,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
literally put on some wrestling shoes and understand all the spots in between in wrestling, because that's where fighters struggle, man. It's not the initial takedown. You and I both know from fighting in the octagon and wrestling at the international level, the problem with scoring at international level is at step 1, those guys can defend. Step 2, they can defend. Step 3, they can defend. In every little inch in the middle, they can defend.
Yeah.
In fighting, that's not the case, right? You
Correct.
can actually go run a pipe, step across, bang him with the head. You could do so many different things, and you only develop that in a wrestling room. I thought for Sean to truly, and I'm not saying he's going to lose, he can still knock him out, but I thought for him to make sure that doesn't happen again, he would need to get into a full wrestling environment to try to work on those skills in between the takedown attempts.
And that's something that a lot of fighters that I know, it's hard to humble yourself that much and then go in there and get your ass kicked for a while. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like those kids at Valiant would probably beat Sean. I'm certain they would beat Sean. The college kids would certainly beat him. It's hard to humble yourself and do that. And then, I mean, the thing I think about is then you're gonna have to do it. It's not like you can do for a week, it's like you gotta do it
for like a year.
Yeah, I was gonna say many months, but yeah, a year would probably be sufficient.
Ideal.
Ideal, yeah. So I wish Sean would have taken some more time and improved his wrestling, but he still does. He has dynamic striking. He has knockout capabilities. Now, Merab has been relatively unstoppable looking in his last handful of fights. You know, the other one I was just kind of playing around while you were talking is Pantoja hasn't actually lost since 2020. He's been on, I think it's like 8 or 9 fight win streak. That would be an interesting one, maybe to see him bump up against Merab. Although, as dominant as Merab is, maybe you don't really give him too much of a chance, but maybe that can make it exciting. I don't know.
He's too small. He's just too small for Merab. But
he's that small?
He's small, yeah. You could tell. Merab's big, dude. He's like thick. Like he's got a big old chain. He looks like a wrestler.
You know who's been coming out to my gym?
Who?
He's number 15. But this guy, Montel Jackson.
I know Montel. I met Montel at that camp we did way back in the day.
Oh, yeah. That was like 2019 or something? No.
Dude, when I was in Wisconsin for something, you had me do a clinic and you had all these kids, and Montel was in there as like a little boy that had an idea that he wanted to fight.
He was still a high school kid at that time?
I don't know. I don't know how old he was, but he was young. Like he was young.
Yeah. Well, he's still, I don't know how old he is.
I remember him.
Doesn't say his birthday on here, but he's been coming out. He is a gigantic featherweight. Like, it's really funny. And I know, obviously, you know this from wrestling. Like, you see the high school kids and they're like, oh my gosh, making 132 is so hard. And, they think they're cutting a lot of weight. Yeah, but then you see them standing next to him, and you're like, that guy makes 135. You're complaining about 132, but he's like a giant compared to you. Like, he makes you look like a runt. Like,
but you don't
stop
even
your
have
whining.
Your kids cut weight, though, do you? You don't have kids cut much weight.
Not much. So when they have to start cutting a little bit, it's like, oh, I don't know if I can make that or whatever. And then it's like, but since he's been out there, I'm like, hey, guys, that guy's 135. Like,
yeah, and then you could show them that, and they're like, okay, okay, maybe I'm not cutting as hard as as I think. Yeah,
I mean, he is really strong.
I had Johnny Walker into my gym for a while. He's crazy, man. He comes in and wrestles, but he's humbling himself. Dude hasn't gotten a takedown in 4 months. He's been here 4 months. He hasn't gotten one takedown, but he's okay with it, right? He's like, I know that I'm improving. Yeah. It's nuts too, because they feel the way that we train, it's overtraining. I'm like, bro, I tell you, if you can get through this, I promise you, you're gonna be better for it. All right, Ben, before I let you go, hey, bro, it's true. It's true. Conor McGregor said he's done, bro. Like, damn, dog. Matt Brown, though, said that he had it right. He said, Conor told us he was done 10 years ago. He told us like 10 years ago what he was going to do, Brown said. Do you remember him talking about it? I'm going to come in. I'm going to take over. I'm going to make money, and I'm going to get out. He said something along the lines of this: game is brutal. You don't want to be in it too long. He told us however many, 8-10 years ago. He literally told us. And that's exactly what he has done. So is Conor a genius? Like, was Conor actually a genius? Like, he knew you can't stay long, so he wasn't here for a long time. He was here for a good time?
Well, I mean, I am a big fan of not staying and fighting for a long time. It's a tough career, and probably not something you should be in forever. That being said, I do recall him saying that, but it's been funny because, he's been in and out of the fighting thing for a while, right? He took a couple years off. He came back and fought Dustin Poirier, and I fought Cowboy, I guess, one time also. And now he's been, teasing a comeback. He even went as far as filming The Ultimate Fighter. That's not like he showed up for 30 minutes, right? He filmed the whole season.
Yeah.
So he had to have at least an idea that, hey, I'm probably going to come back. 'Cause I don't think Dana pays you guys that well, but it's in the buildup of your personality and future earnings and that type of stuff. Yeah, so I think he probably had an
Do
intention.
you
And
think Dana just pays everything?
Dana
Do you
White,
think so? Do you think Dana just pays everything? You just said I don't know that Dana pays you guys that well to do the Ultimate Fighter. So do you think Dana just like pays everything?
what do you mean pays everything?
Like you think that every check that comes out of the UFC or anything associated with the UFC comes from Dana White?
I think any large amount. Listen, Dana, I just told you he was a tyrant a little bit ago. I think yes. He says yes and no to
No,
all these things.
no, that's not
No,
the
if
case.
you got a check and Dana didn't know about it, he'd be like, Daniel, give that shit back right now.
No, so you don't think that for the ultimate? So you don't think that for the Ultimate Fighter, maybe like you get paid by Pelagian, the company that does the Ultimate Fighter instead
Of
of the.
course, that's who you get paid by, but
Yeah, but it's not Dana White. Like you guys all
he's the
simplify
big
everything. Like
boss, tyrant.
you guys all think that Dana pays everything. It's kind of crazy the idea of people the way they view the UFC.
Well, I mean,
You
if
can't
that's
make
not, I mean,
every decision possible.
in my experiences, that's how it has been, and if that has changed or I'm incorrect, then Dana does a very good job of making him seem like he is in charge of all the things.
Yeah, no, he can't. It's too big. Everything's too big. Like at this point to for him to do everything. But okay, Conor McGregor. Yeah, Matt Brown was right. Matt Brown was right. Conor did say those things, and we should have saw it coming. What we didn't see coming, I think the only person that saw it coming is you and the politics. Like, man,
Uh-huh.
you were joking, bro. You were
Well, he
messing
was
around.
always talking about it, but yeah, I didn't think he was actually going to try to be the president.
Well, is he gonna try to be the president or is he gonna try to be something else?
No, I think he's a president.
That's so crazy. He can't win, can he? I heard they hate him over there.
I guess we'll I guess we'll figure it out.
Hey, hold on a second. Justin.
Uh-oh.
Yo,
Hey, I'm doing my show real quick with Ben Askren. Real quick. Is Conor gonna become the president of Ireland?
Daniel, stop calling me for this dumb shit.
No, Big Justin. I was calling you before I started, and then Ben and I started talking about fighting. And then I was telling Ben that I think you're going to get a title fight next and all this. But I figured, well, I'll answer. And since we're on that topic, I'm just asking you, is he going to be the president of Ireland?
Terrible question.
Terrible question.
Ask Justin if he would be okay being governed by Conor McGregor.
He said he doesn't know shit about Ireland, Ben, and he doesn't fucking care. This is Justin Gaethje.
Maybe.
He said America, baby. Hey, JG, let me call you afterwards. I want to talk about golf in Florida. All right, bye. Ben, could you hear him?
Yeah.
He goes, I don't
It's a
give
terrible
fuck.
question.
He's so crazy. I don't give a fuck about Ireland. America, baby. This dude's crazy. Yeah, I don't think he can become the president. But we won't spend too much time on this because it seems like people are kind of over Conor McGregor. It's kind of crazy. Like for a while, you wanted Conor McGregor in every single segment of your show, but
Yeah.
it seems like people don't care anymore. Like, are they? And they're probably justified in it,
Exhausted.
considered he's just a politician now. Hey,
Yes.
do you think the president being at the NCAA tournament added to the ratings?
Hell yeah.
You do, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so a little bit. I mean, how much
Yeah.
though? Because it was like the most watched
It was
NCAA
the most
tournament.
viewed in what, 10 years for the
No,
finals?
15 years.
15 years. Nice.
Almost 1 million people watched the NCAA finals.
Yeah, that was awesome. No, yeah, both him and
Elon.
Elon there, and yeah, it definitely added to the spectacle of everything. And then the finish, which I thought you were incorrect in, but the finishing, the way it finished, I did not see that one coming. It was
No,
quite.
none of
If
us
you
did.
wrote the script, it was quite the swerve. You really got us on that one, Daniel.
He said yeah. Do you
I'm not
remember the
sure.
day?
You might have wrote it.
Do you remember before I called you asking about it? Because
Yeah.
everybody was so mad about the
Yes.
order.
I
I said,
was
let me
mad
ask
also.
Ben,
I was
because
mad
you're my
also.
resident like wrestling insider. So
Yeah,
anytime I
nerd.
have like a super wrestling question, I go to you. And you were like, no, don't like it. Can't stand it. And how about Wyatt Henderson? He won the freaking Hodge Trophy. That's so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, given prior results of Wyatt, I don't know. It didn't really make sense to give him a chance, but I guess that's why he wrestled the matches. If you look at his results from, say, last year, where he lost a younger Bastida, and then wasn't super competitive with Greg Kirkfleet, the idea of him upsetting Gable, in my opinion, was far-fetched.
Yeah, it was
And
far-fetched.
he went out, he went out there and he made it happen. And yeah, I mean, I want to say I obviously wasn't alive for a long time after the Gable Owing. So I can't tell you because I wasn't there the actual magnitude of the shock of that. But from what it says, it was the biggest ever. But of my lifetime following wrestling, I cannot think of a more shocking NCAA result. Matt Ramos versus Spencer Lee is not as shocking because Matt Ramos had him on his back twice early in the duel of that year. So you can see a path for that to happen.
Yes.
This one, Gable had him, his last loss was 2019 or
He was just he's so good.
So
he's
good.
just so good. Like it's like sometimes you see a guy that just knows how to wrestle. And he's so good that you just didn't think it could happen. Hey Ben, I gotta tip my cap to you before we go. I saw a picture of you and Keegan O'Toole walking out of the arena.
Yeah.
Dude, that was awesome, bro. Like
Thank
the
you.
fact that you guys have such a strong relationship and then he lost and but he's injured. Make no mistake about it, he was injured. Only Keegan O'Toole could have gotten to the NCAA finals with that injury. But I saw you two walking back in the balls of the arena as you were leaving, and you kind of had your hand on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you keep it together in that moment. Ben, I would cry. If I got to walk Cody Merrill back or one of my guys back, knowing what they went through, I would feel as though I'm touching that little kid on the back, that little boy, not a man,
sure.
right? Because you kind of see him in that vein at times.
Yeah, I mean that's I was thinking I hope I don't tear up, but I did tear up with my wife. But it's like I remember when he was 15 and he lost out for his first year at U17s, and I don't remember why, but I think everyone else was done already at that point, and they had all left to go back to the Airbnb where everyone was staying, and like he was just sitting there crying, and it was like it was like a flashback to that. It's like I had been such a big part of this guy's life for. That was a decade ago or something. I don't know. And it was so cool to watch him come all the way through. And, as a coach, you get to be there in some great moments, but you got to be there in some shitty moments too. And, it's like, hey, I'm here for you. And if you just want to sit there and cry, that's what you get to do. You put your life into this.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome, Ben. Congratulations, man. You guys crushed it this year again at the NCAA tournament. Guys, for Ben Askren, I'm Daniel Cormier. Until next time. Peace.
See ya.